restoring the balance.
Feeling distracted? Come in, come right in, and be refreshed. Centers are there to help. During this full before you improve your thoughts.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts? All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections. I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors, you'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. So we say goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
That was a nice tap on the old brain pan.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed. Welcome to the Wellness. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in, then. Wonderful. Once.
And then our heads will be as empty as yours. I've seen this too many times. It's not as...
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing. Why, of course. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Head Refresher Gould says mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / you're right.
So refreshing.
Greetings. Subject query 1. Incorrect. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1, 2, 4. Incorrect. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including unacceptable? A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible. When the final query, how would your neighbors describe you? Unsatisfactory. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric 200 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Stymies untoward inclinations and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
They would deem I resolve inadequate insanity. Their analysis procedure is clearly faulty.
Only the Protector possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process.
My name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm.
Others are not.
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There. Did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it?
Flawless efficiency. Unthinking is essential. Unthink today. Unthink tomorrow.
Right as rain, neighbor. Never more content. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phenometric pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Head refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Just follow the sign. Refreshment.
Our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Medicament dispensing has concluded for today. The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural
Duty of every protector is subject to ensure they are
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we will touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need an refreshment? Personal freedom. Loss and anarchy. It is a sad fact that all human beings require direction. As my
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed, noting dire self-diagnosis, and ably display. I am responsible for medicament dispensement. Has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet it is strictly farewell statement. May refreshment.
Whole lot of meaningless blather. Standard protectorate fare.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium. I was once a victim. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But you've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech auto-mechanically dispenses medicaments. The medicament dispensement automech auto-mechanically dispenses medicaments. The medicament dispensement automech auto-mechanically dispenses medicaments. I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it. First, you'll feel
They're just handing out keys to anyone around here, aren't they?
Typically, I do not view mental refreshment firsthand. Its effects on an individual's spirit of inquiry.
Classic Waters Wellnetarium, here on Prater, is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Refresher Gould.
Unfriendly company. They're not.
Responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
The void agitator.
Plasma tolerances exceeded.
Hey there. Aborting search.
Also not.
Don't like the sound of that at all.
Outstanding. Prepare for absolution!
Target reacquired.
All right. The fun part is coming up here soon.
Say, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of it? Oh, do I detect a whiff of repriorant gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. I thought no one was due for peak abrade. I should have your chart. Wait. Wait. You're not a protectorate.
And you, my friend, are mildly intoxicated and highly open to suggestion. In other...
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. My, can't believe I'm falling for that. As it may be the most Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our... To what end are you here? Tell me truly. You know, I'm beginning to have a proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Yes, well, you'll see, even in a... So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say a clear example of a life to avoid, yes? That's what happens with... What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? I do appreciate your candor. That even an amoral outsider like yourself find them worthless is... In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a last chance to distinguish yourself? That was the final point you wanted to make? All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're completely aware of which of... I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess, though ultimately I'm not wholly surprised.
I shall reduce them to a
intruder.
Nah, you're not killing me with some fucking turrets.
I must get regained by...
Goodbye.
Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more Intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting. Per instructions.
Maximal. Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Corpos!
An enemy.
Invasive element!
Prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now.
Commander, you attacked my fellows when they have nary raised a hand against you. Were you defending yourself, I could perhaps understand. But you assail the innocent. Explain yourself. An apology cannot breathe life back into the dead. Know this. Should any unbidden violence occur on your part toward non-hostile members of the Protectorate again, I will depart your presence.
Whatever, Tristan.
You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best...
My Sovereign? What have they... No. And certainly not the embodiment of all that is the Protectorate. This is a greater crime than all I have witnessed.
Deserves what? Whatever do you mean? We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset. Absurd nonsense about how the Consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Preposterous! The Consul and no subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to even think. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Just leave.
I suppose there is nothing we can do at this juncture. Guard him well, Feld. I shall honor him.
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby.
I will restore my life. In case you haven't noticed, I'm expiring down here. I'm alive. Known to
hold a grudge, you know.
That's your word, I shall charge!
For making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
The protectorate endures!
Bettering position.
Collective cognitive components.
I shall reduce them to a slime!
Step aside. This might sting.
On the authority!
The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
We're refreshed, so refreshed. Mentally,
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Subject to the most exalted vigil. We must all fulfill our duty to the protectorate. We're in this together.
we're refreshed, so refreshed.
Villains abound. Be on top.
We can all comply together.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is as valid for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for to each successive generation. Choice.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's choice,
Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered. And it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's Choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination. Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of... Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology... Oh, do tell. I hope you gathered... Well, got what we needed. Sometimes a body count can't be helped.
Better in the ground than in our enemy's employ. Nice work, my ameliorator.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology, and that will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? That's certainly... What else? Oh, good to know, good to know. But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground. Excellent. Well, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you. Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Well, I appreciate the clarity, if not the lack of guile. For now, I suppose we'll remain uncomfortable bedfellows. If not, do hope you forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it. But a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door. Bronzing is prohibited.
Can't tell the difference between cover and conceal.
You have the look of someone with... Unfortunately...
Pop-up gun. That's funny. She has a science gun. It only does 5 damage. That's goofy.
Ah, I've got.
Easy heel loafers and Spectrum brand bandits. I pit our least bankable tossball team against the
Working hard or hardly working?
roster of pitchball pushovers.
Commendations on so successfully climbing the corporate rungs. Everything. When you meet with Auntie, be accommodating but also bold. Raise the issue with her. Performing more labor for Auntie's choice will inevitably bring our fair corporation into further conflict with the Order. So we only have one shot at this. Make it count. I'd offer you luck, but I trust.
If you have business here, then let me keep it.
Until next time, look for me in the Platinum Executive Skybox above the line of
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember,
specifically founded to fight what nature... to all...
Alright, we're gonna do the rest of his quest now. So, I'll be using first person yet again.
Commander, I have news. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all... I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further
Once we're done, I might even kick him off the team altogether, because I really don't care about Tristan whatsoever. And not only that, I do not like the Protectorate one bit. Not sure how to get there, but I guess I'll go to Fairfield and see. I think that area was undiscovered on purpose because I couldn't figure out a way to get there. Level 1 land.
Thanks for not crushing my plants, friend. I'm the Senior Principal Chief Director of Natural Studies, Acquisitions, and Monetization on Paradise Island. But call me Betsy. I'm always out looking for exciting new plants, rocks, and critters, but you can likely puzzle that out on your own. Say, you ain't looking for a job, are you? It's easy. Just need to confirm reported locations of a few rare and highly valuable plants. You can keep anything you find. Anything. Just so long as, well, you got me grinning to split my noggin clean in two. But enough of that. To business. I got a stack of reports, but since we're not supposed to be riling things up with the Protectorate right now, I can't go investigate them myself. It might be seen as aggressive. But since you're an unaffiliated freelancer, you could handle this task no problem. Just go to these places and verify if the resource is there or not, and report back to me. Friend, you and I are about to become very wealthy. First up, I need you to find a beautiful flowering plant called Heartless Lephoria. It can be found across Arcadia. More specifically, it's typically found near Zeranium. So it's spread you'll know it if you see it. Ah, I got two. And again, friend, You're back, and in one piece. I assume not to disturb.
Too late.
If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds. Take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Arbiter Nebs, the words are a song to my ears. This, no doubt, is the opportunity I have long awaited. These hapless recruits arrived just before the invasion. No sooner had they set down their bags than their instructors were called to the warfront. I read the fear, the uncertainty in their faces. And I knew, as this outpost's primary practice target replacement technician, I alone could teach them. They see me as their leader, their arbiter. I will not fail. Should the invasion breach our defenses, I will stand proudly at the vanguard, shoot to kill, and lead them to victory.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office and...
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation. I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our...
Arbiter Montag, lay down your
Alright.
surrender and die.
Whoa. Okay. We're gonna try this again. What the fuck? Fucking snipers. We're gonna use a different tactic this time.
Victor, the relief to see a friendly face. Keep cover.
Virgil!
Impossible? Why is it impossible? Damn it!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Replenishing my foot.
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall kill them as you...
Hold. You need to say something before we were at...
We cannot have this conversation until you're safe.
Quick once over.
Back to it. Aborting search.
It is the duty of every subject to ensure they are operating.
Commander.
Weapon prime! Taking cover! Either restore my life or avenge my death!
You can't fight contentment!
Those fools were but an expert.
Hole.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
To do your job is a virtue. Every part is a
Seems
code.
suspect to me.
Every subject ensures a glorious bounty for
Aborting search.
I fulfill my duty to protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy without error.
State your business. Better take again.
I shall reduce them to a flurry!
Loading anew.
You have my... Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. You sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do. Unfortunately, it seems you found him before he could complete his task. Would that he had. I had no wish to cause his death through my impetuousness. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan.
Her breach of rank was much too severe to overlook. Do not believe this line of questioning shall distract me from my duty.
How dare you! I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was up. The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There is not a step we took that she did not watch. A fact we know that she... and I killed her. As a traitor.
It doesn't matter how difficult it was. It was a criminal act. You're right. I've completed my share of executions beside you. In each circumstance, you convinced me to reinforce my duty. Though it pains me that I must do the same to my sworn brother, we do what is necessary for the Protectorate. But I do. This issue is between me and Virgil. He is a traitor to the Protectorate. Perhaps the worst I've ever encountered.
Finally! It's past time for violence to do the...
Arbiter Virgil Montag. I accuse you of the murder of the Supreme Arbiter and of conspiracy against the Protectorate. I find you...
This won't bring you peace, my sworn brother. The thought of standing against you fills me with 1,000 agonies. But
those will be the final words out of your trick.
Sharpen up. Watch the house near.
There. Justice is served. I did what had to be done. Yes. Mostly. I never expected this to be something I would need to do. I need some time to myself. To think about it.
deputy.
Find my next victim tied in the hostile combat.
Please don't measures up.
And in one... I was hoping for at least one, but both at once? Exceptional. None of my lab assistants are ever this efficient. And since you're so good at this, I have another job for you. There's a type of rare mineral called ferrochromium. Our data point... My favorite new skip. That's a mic.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Sure. Just like everything else.
Once we arrive at the Automech facility, we'll unload and begin cataloging the state of the various Automechs.
Are you recording the drive? Cadet, I do not believe this is what the Sergeant intended by documenting the process. Here, allow me to handle it. Now where's the officer? Boyd, we're being bombed! Loose formation to the beach, double time!
I would need
we can take shelter in the rocks! Praise the Sovereign. We made it. Halt! Everyone quiet. Oh shit! Travel! Sonic! Yeah! Defensive perimeter type 14A!
our sense of community. They sneer at our contempt.
Like kitties, sick kids. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Oh, you, Kelly. Oh, yeah. Oh, you, Kelly.
No, wait. I don't need refreshment. Refreshment? I'm so refreshed. Yep, that's me. Refreshed like Hello. How are you, El? No, it was my backal lobe. Backal. Only the most loyal subjects have the... No, you're not an actual part of my brain. Ha! What I need is potatoes. I'm just a refreshment. Loyal subject, la la la.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
My favorite new all up. Thanks. Well, that's plenty for me to run claim paperwork on for now. Just by way of a heads up, our scouts never made it to the North Island. There could be more there. That's the spirit. Where there's a will, ferrochromium and heartless Lephoria are relatively rare and valuable, but aren't new. Not to worry, though, friend. There's lots...
Not only does it save the company a fortune, it's so unnaturally sweet it's almost unbearable.
My blood boy, he will pay 1,000 times for this treachery. Any fool enough to stand beside him will...
My cute. My cute. My cute. My beautiful girl. You're so pretty. Watch out. Sorry. I want to make sure you fit on the bed.
All these wicks got everyone crying about it, including me.
I must ask you to hold still. I'm still quite busy, so make this quick if you please.
We all saw that comm station blast off, but I just happened to know that
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like?
Hello again. What can I do for you? Oh, Arcadian spears and... Oh, stop.
Specialty drinks for the discerning.
How can I improve your day? I'm...
Commander, it was intensely difficult in the moment. But bringing him low was the right decision. I could not allow him to clemency and understanding breed only perfidy and death. I see now why Arcadia was so easily invaded. The Protectorate has grown soft. No exception may be granted to our laws. Someone in the Protectorate overlooked warning signs with each person I executed. Each wrought untold damage before I encountered them. Virgil, a traitor. The Supreme Arbiter, a traitor. Betrayal from everyone I've ever... This cannot ever be allowed to happen again. I will not allow it. This is the only... Arcadia shall no longer be host to anyone who would harm the Protectorate, from within or without. I shall redouble this as my... Together, you and I shall rid Arcadia of anything that might fly in the face of